Chapter 1. The Arrival. The starship Elysium had been drifting through the void for 7 years when it finally picked up the distress signal. Captain Elias Varrow rubbed his tired eyes as the automated voice droned over the comms. Unidentified vessel. Requesting immediate assistance. Life support failing. The signal was weak, barely more than a whisper, but the coordinates led them to a derelict craft floating near the edge of a dying nebula. It was small, too small for a crew, more like an escape pod. "Open it," Elias ordered. The airlock hissed as the seals broke. Inside, bathed in the dim glow of emergency lights, lay a woman. No, not a woman. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, shifting hues under the ship's artificial light. Her hair, long and dark, seemed to absorb the light around it, giving the illusion of floating in zero gravity even though the pod had none. Her eyes were the most striking, large, luminous, and entirely black, like pools of ink reflecting the cosmos. She was alive. Barely. Chapter 2. The Awakening. They called her Nyx, after the ancient goddess of night. She spoke in a voice that resonated like a melody, each syllable carrying an unnatural weight. She claimed to be from a world beyond the known systems, a place where her people communicated not just with words, but with touch. "Your hands," she said one evening, her obsidian eyes fixed on Elias. "They are different." "How so?" he asked. She reached out, her fingers brushing against his. A jolt of electricity, not pain but something deeper, shot through him. Images flashed in his mind. A city of crystalline spires, a sky filled with twin suns, a great ship fleeing a dying world. Then, just as quickly, it was gone. Nyx pulled back, her expression unreadable. "Your kind sees with your eyes. We see with our hands." Chapter 3. The Forbidden Connection. The crew was wary of her. Dr. Lyra Chen ran every test she could, but Nyx's biology defied explanation. Her cells rearranged themselves under a microscope. Her blood was iridescent, shifting colors like oil on water. But Elias couldn't stay away. Late at night, when the ship was silent, he found himself drawn to her quarters. She would press her palms against his, and in those moments, he saw her world, felt her loneliness, understood her desperation. "You are not like the others," she whispered once, her breath cool against his skin. "You do not fear me." He should have. Chapter 4. The Revelation. The visions grew stronger, deeper. One night, Nyx gripped his wrists with sudden urgency. "They are coming," she said. "Who?" "The ones who hunt me." Before he could respond, the ship's alarms blared. An unidentified vessel, sleek, predatory, had locked onto their position. Nyx's eyes darkened further. "They will take me. Or kill you trying." Elias made his choice. Chapter 5. The Escape. The Elysium wasn't a warship. They couldn't outrun the pursuers. But Nyx had one final secret. "Hold me," she commanded. When he did, her body changed. Silver tendrils wrapped around him, merging with his skin. The last thing he saw before the world dissolved was her lips forming 3 words. "See with me." Like. Epilogue. A new vision. Elias woke on a planet he didn't recognize. The sky was violet. The air tasted like honey. And Nyx stood before him, no longer shimmering, no longer alien. Human. Or so she appeared. She smiled, taking his hand. "Now you understand." And he did. Because now, when he touched her, he didn't just see her world. He felt it. Final chapter. The Choice. Elias gasped as the world rematerialized around him. His skin still tingled where Nyx's silver essence had fused with his own. The air was thick, perfumed with something floral yet metallic, like rain on forged steel. Above him, twin suns blazed in a violet sky, casting long shadows across an alien landscape of crystalline spires and shifting liquid mountains. Nyx stood before him, her form now different, softer, more human. Her skin had lost its metallic sheen, settling into a warm golden hue. Her eyes, though still dark, now held flecks of amber like embers in the void. But when she reached for him, her touch still carried the same electric weight. "Where are we?" Elias whispered. "Home," Nyx replied. "Or what's left of it." She led him through the ruins of her civilization. The towering spires were fractured, their surfaces scarred by some ancient cataclysm. Ghostly echoes of her people flickered at the edges of his vision, shadows of a lost world. "They called us the Touched Ones," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We did not speak as you do. We knew through contact. Thought, memory, emotion, all passed through the brush of skin." Elias looked down at his hands. They trembled. "And now you are the first of your kind to see as we do." A gust of wind carried the scent of distant storms. Nyx turned her face toward the horizon, where dark clouds gathered. "They will come for us," she said. "The ones who hunted me. They fear what we are, what you could become." Elias felt it then, the weight of the choice before him. He could stay, learn the depths of this connection, become something beyond human. Or he could flee, return to the Elysium, and let the stars forget her. But Nyx's fingers interlaced with his, and in that touch, he saw the truth. There was no going back. Epilogue, the last touch. The warships descended like blades cutting through the sky. Elias stood beside Nyx at the heart of the ruins, their hands clasped. "Will it hurt?" he asked. She smiled. "Only for a moment." The first blast shook the ground. The second shattered the spires. The third never came. Because when the soldiers landed, they found nothing. No bodies. No wreckage. Just two silhouettes, standing at the edge of the world, their fingers entwined, before they dissolved into light. And somewhere in the space between stars, Elias opened his eyes. Nyx was there. And this time when she touched him, he didn't just see. He understood.